What is up, guys? First and foremost, my name is Ahmed Abdullah. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of Nominal, and we're actually rolling out some new core values to the team in about a week. And I want to share them with you because they're just 5 core values that the leadership team, including myself, really hold closely to our heart. And we are about to roll them out to the team, but I feel like they're going to be really beneficial even on a personal level. So whether you own a business or you don't, I think each of these core values is something that you're going to be able to implement into your life. And let's just hop right into them. The first one is lead with speed. And the way we describe this core value is that we are nimble in order to move the needle forward. And the benefit we have as a company is we're not so big that it takes us forever to make decisions, to get them approved, to actually bring them to life. We are able to sample quickly. We're able to work with multiple manufacturers. We don't have a massive team where things need to go through multiple tiers of approval. And what this does is it allows us to move a little bit more like a speedboat and less like steering the Titanic. Whereas massive brands, whether they're jewelry or otherwise, if you think of Nike and Reebok and HP and Lululemon and these really big brands, once they realize that they're falling behind or they're not doing as much innovation as other brands that are coming into the space that are smaller, it takes them a really long time to pivot. I was reading an article the other day actually that said that Lululemon replaced their CEO because they feel like they're falling behind on innovation, maybe in comparison to brands like Alo and a couple other athleisure brands. But they said it's going to take them 18 months to turn the company around because of how long the production life cycle is, how long the design processes are, how long it's going to take to get all those new products into retail and actually market this new brand personality. And so for us, it's really important. And I'm sure for you, again, whether you're a business owner or not, your ability to go from idea to action with as much speed as possible and reducing the gap between idea and action is the one thing that's going to make you unstoppable. The most common denominator I've seen in successful people in my life is that the second they think of something, they're done with the thinking phase. They've thought of the idea. Now they've moved on to action. They figured out what resources they want. They know what actions they need to take. They journal about the ultimate finish line. What's the goal? And then they go from there and they just start moving. Everyone else I know that struggles with actually bringing their dreams to life, it's always speed. It's always that gap between idea and action that causes them the most problems. The second core value that we're rolling out is dramatic ownership. This is one that's been in the company for a very long time, so it hasn't really changed with this new core value rollout. But this one is described as we do what we say and we proudly own the result, which means if it goes well, we celebrate ourselves, we give ourselves a pat on the back. And if it doesn't go well, we also own that. We call ourselves out before anybody else can call us out. We take ownership of the results, good or bad. If something goes bad, we know that it affects the team. We apologize to the team. We give them a plan on how that's not going to happen again. And if you're not a business owner, you know damn well why ownership is so important. Because everything that's ever happened to you in your life is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. You do have to own it now. And that could be childhood trauma. It could be bad luck. It could be jobs that you've lost. It could be relationships that are no longer in your life. Even if those things are not your fault, life is not fair. And the only way you'll actually be able to achieve success is by owning it. Not only that thing, but owning your future because it is yours. It's in no one else's hands. And ownership for us in Nominal is hugely important because we don't blame anything. We don't make excuses and we hold our work to the highest pride. And so the least we can do is own it with the highest pride. The third core value we're rolling out, because nothing matters more than this, is we care about our people. And the sentence we use to describe this is we support, empathize, and help each other grow. Many companies prioritize the dollar over everything else. That's not how Nominal works. We've donated over $1.5 million to various causes, from water wells to meal programs to medical programs. We also prioritize the well-being of our team. If anybody's ever dealing with anything in their personal life, that comes first. Yes, we're a business. We're here to grow. We're here to make an impact. We're here to sell product. We're here to truly make a viable business so that we can care about the people who work at Nominal and otherwise, our community, our external vendors, and so on and so forth. But we will never prioritize the dollar over our ethics, over what's right, and over our people. And again, for you, business owner or not, if you pour empathy and kindness in everything you do in life, don't worry about how it's going to come back, it will. And if you don't see how it came back, then you being kind is the reward. There doesn't need to be an external reward. You don't need to be separately rewarded for it. I remember listening to a Friday sermon and the Khatib here said, when you pray, the prayer is the reward. The fact that you prayed is the reward. You don't need to be waiting for God to pay you back. You didn't do God a favor. He did you a favor by giving you the desire, giving you the discipline to actually show up and be kind and be empathetic. That's exactly what this core value embodies. Our fourth core value, and this is one of my favorites, it's one of the ones that I've rolled out recently, We do things with heart. We do our best work until the job is done, not until your job is done. We've noticed in the past that a team member who doesn't do things with heart will simply just check things off like a to-do list. But the problem is then they're not coming at it with innovation. They're not thinking about the whole picture. And so whether they are designing a product, whether they're responsible for a marketing campaign or creating ads, they're not thinking from the perspective of the customer. They're not thinking from the perspective of the industry. They're just doing the task and they're not asking any other questions. So doing things with heart not only means being proud of what you do, but it also means asking questions, being curious. Hey, when I finish this task, where is it going? When I finish designing this email, who's going to see it? And really caring about those things makes you much better at your work, and it gives you more pride. It allows you to pour into it. That way, when the result finally comes out, you're proud of it because you know you gave it your all. We've ran into many problems over the years where people don't do things with heart. They do it as if it's just a task, and you can tell. You can tell in the quality of the work. You can tell in how it ends up as a result. So now we do things with heart. We ask questions, we collaborate, we're curious. We want to know the full picture so that we can do our part the best. If we were building a ship and I needed someone to build the steering wheel of the ship, it's important for them to know not only, hey, this is going to be the steering wheel of this ship, also where are we going? What ocean are we sailing on? Are we expecting any storms? Is there going to be a backup steering wheel? There's a lot of things that go into it as opposed to just having someone build wood and they have no idea what this thing is going to become. In our company, we want everyone to know the bigger picture of what it is they're working on and why. Our fifth and final core value is one that I most recently rolled out, and it's called Know the Score. We understand and we're honest about where we stand in the industry, in the company, compared to our past and compared to our future. Something we ran into a lot is that our team wouldn't really know how the company is doing from a revenue standpoint, from an innovation standpoint. Are there any competitors in the industry? And I think many business owners try to keep revenue behind curtains because they don't really want to talk in the millions to their team members. Everyone may feel entitled to a raise. They don't really know how a profit and loss statement works. They're just going to hear we made $1 million last month. And naturally, human beings are going to be like, where's my piece? Where's my raise? Where's my promotion? Where's my bonus? But if you have good leadership, if you have good transparency and you show them how much it costs to make that $1 million, the conversation becomes a lot more effective. And so what we realized when we were not transparent about revenue or not expecting the team to know about revenue and our success and our forecasts and so on and so forth, their work wouldn't reflect whether we're in a bad season or a good season. And this is wildly detrimental because could you imagine someone on the New York Knicks playing a game not knowing that they were down by 30 points? Would that make any sense? Would the coach say, well, we can't tell the score to all the team members. Some of them are going to get overwhelmed by the fact that we're down by 30. Okay, if you're overwhelmed by being down by 30, then get off the court and put someone on the court that is fired up by being down by 30, that has a chip on their shoulder by being down by 30. So to us, knowing the score is really important. It doesn't mean you know everything about revenue. It doesn't mean you know the entire profit and loss statement. It doesn't even need to insinuate that you know why we're down. But if we've had a 3-month streak of poor revenue and we're not hitting forecasts and the industry is tough right now and the economy is tough, everyone in the company should know that. If you don't want them to know the exact dollars, that's fine. But if you tell them we're only hitting 60% of the money we thought we were going to be bringing in this month, it is a rough storm out there in the industry, whether it's meta algorithm, economic uncertainty, or something in the company is just not being innovative and not working. Your team should know that. Why? Because they will work differently when they know they're down by 30. If you watch the Knicks play when they're down by 30, they played differently. They communicate differently. The coach is calling timeouts differently. Everything operates differently when you know the score. And that doesn't just mean revenue. It also means the industry. Knowing the score also means what products are we releasing. Knowing the score also insinuates knowing what the competitors and what the industry looks like. These are the 5 core values we're going to roll out for the second half of this year and moving forward. I hope this was helpful. And again, whether you're a business owner or not, I think these all really tie into your own life and how you can accomplish your goals. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'm happy to answer them. Thanks, guys.